Alright, I mean, what is up? I mean, I'm just doing this video to showcase what I'm doing right now. And right now, I'm practicing to play a song that I regret writing because although the guitar solo, ironically, that's the easy part. If I could be playing it from memory, I don't know if I could because I play better when I play to the song. I haven't practiced it to like play live because I stopped doing live shows since Paranormal Mind because I moved right after before I finished the next album. Well, yeah, something like that. I finished the next album and I ended up moving. Got this apartment and it was kind of hard because I prefer doing live shows standing up, but essentially what it's gonna be is I'm going to sit back here and then I'm going to do a little bit of that, and it's gonna be looking something like this, something like that, I think. And of course, I'm not gonna be having the microphone on, but you're gonna get just barely see what I think I'm gonna do it during the daytime, so that when you watch it, if people watch it back, it'll be higher frames at least, because I know for a fact that the daytime is better for my camera. Right now it's just dark outside. I don't know why I decided to shoot all videos at fucking 11, 10, 12, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., sometimes even 4 a.m. I don't know when that's the video time for me, but that's just the way she goes. So, we're going to tap right into this guitar here, and for me, so it's loud, and that's how I hear it. I like it loud. But yeah, I've set it up already, so it's basically loaded, locked in and loaded. I've already pretty much decided on some songs from each album. I know for sure I'm going to be doing Corpsewrecked. I'm thinking Imbecile Infection, because that's my tribute to my lovely creation. And I'm not entirely sure about Parasitic Self-Destruction, Soloist Void, and Ashes of Survival. I haven't played those yet, actually, because I just practiced Corpsewrecked and realized how fucked of a song it is. Pedo God I played before, so I'm not going to play that one. Torture's Desire, I don't know. It depends what the set list becomes, because I know I'm going to play Will Your Kindness Be Free. I'm going to probably play Revel in Blood, Raped by Snakes, Go Fuck Yourself. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 songs already. And Ebisu, that's 7, but keep in mind that's a 9-minute song, and I want to play Ebisu at some point in the set, as it is one of the hardest songs I've ever made. In fact, it is the hardest song I've ever made. So today we're going to be discussing the second hardest song I made. And it's just... I'll play the riff and turn off my microphone because I know it plays the raw audio otherwise, so you can hear how fucked this is. It's just constant, but especially that first riff, it's easier to play when I have the drums behind me for some reason. I guess it's because when I'm listening to drums, I'm focusing more on the song, than when I'm playing it raw like this. And the worst part is that I decided to do, so this part, that's not the hard part, it's the transition. I decided to throw in a Cannibal Corpse thing there, because basically, they do that. Corpse thing, right? So, in practice, ironically, the verse riff is like a fucking break for me. But then you have this fucking riff that I fucking don't understand. This is the hardest riff in the song right here. Slow. The reason why I did that was because I wanted, you know, that fast, intense, like, I wanted that, you know. That was what I wrote. Ironically, the first riff, that is a break to me playing that riff. That is taking a break in the song, and this next riff is actually the most comfortable riff, because this riff actually makes me happy when it comes on, because that means it's time to relax our arm a little bit, which doesn't sound like it. But trust me, this tremolo picking is a lot easier than the other stuff. Is when I throw in a little bit of a Latin beat sounding thing, like very influenced by Cannibal Corpse, and it's not an entirely Latin beat. It's just that it gives me a Latin beat feel in my head when it's like that. Just gives me that feel, man. So that the feel is more about feel than anything. But then comes the riff that comes before the solo, right? And this riff haunts me as well, because it goes just playing without sound. That's the bitch. So, to put it into just that little tremolo picking where you have to stop in between going like fast and up and down the fretboard, that's the fucky part for me. And I mean, I wrote it so I can play it, but like my fucking fingers, I've been playing my own songs, my fingers hurt. So I should tell you everything about how fucking kind they are to you. So here's how it goes in full speed. Right, so that's pretty easy for me to remember on memory. Just the melody and the shredding as well of the first solo. That's basically the simplest part, ironically. The solo, the melodic part, that's the easy one. And I can actually replicate it pretty well. Like right now, without the music, it's going to be the worst I'm going to sound on that. Because I sound a whole lot better playing with the actual track, because then I actually know where things are going and where things are happening, when things are happening. Because it's hard to, because if you're playing like raw, like this, right, you have to hear the song in your head and just be like, all right, what's next? So in my head, when I'm doing that, like I did then, I'm thinking, okay, how does the guitar chords go? And that's remembering every single guitar chord in a song that you don't really play that often. Good luck, buddy, in your head. No, you gotta practice to the song, obviously. And the thing is, I can practice my shit up to speed. It's just that right now I'm doing a little demonstration here about free. I'm whiskey bent and hellbound over here. Free drinks deep, and then it's basically just a repeat, you know, of the. Fucking fuck me, man. Who decided to write that? Me. Why did I allow myself to write that? Fuck you. Fuck you. I have to flip myself off for that one. But then it's the ending riff, with the solo at the end. That one's harder to replicate. The shredding, that's the part where I need to practice, because the shredding at the end, that's not as well composed as, you know, of course, this. think I'm done practicing for the night because after fucking just demonstrating that, my fucking hand is all fucked. I wish I could see it because it's dark. But I bet if it was daytime, my hands would be looking a lot not too good because you can't see that on the camera. But right now my fingers definitely have string indents and rips and tears from just pure shred. And just that's the dedication, man. I mean, I've already had basically a semi concert today. The funny thing is, the hardest song I've ever written, Ebisu, I don't even need to practice that one. I have that one down, man. So that's why I say that that's why I really want to emphasize that this is my second hardest. It's just that I actually practiced Ebisu a whole lot more because I knew it was my hardest song pretty much immediately after publishing it, because right after publishing it, that's when I released the album. And I listened back to it, and it's just like this tremolo picking for like 3 minutes straight, and then 5 minutes straight. It's like 5 minutes and 3 minutes straight. So it's like, yeah, 8 minutes of tremolo picking, essentially, and a guitar solo where you gotta shred like a fucking boss. One of my more insane guitar solos. In fact, right now, I really feel the stinging in the fingertips. You know, it's just fucking the way it goes when you make fucking songs like that. I mean, no one's ever said that making death metal that fast is simple or easy to play. So even when I'm writing, realistically, you gotta think about this like this. When I'm writing that, I'm having to play that riff like, because I write as I record, right? The same time I'm recording is when I'm writing. That's why I would never be able to go in the studio. Because the studio engineer would have a fucking field day with me. But I like it that way, because that way it's like super raw, and the mistakes you make in the good takes are like genuine, like, how do I put this? Almost meant to be there mistakes. Does that make sense at all? I guess J-Dog has a couple things to say. He's falling asleep. No, doesn't make sense to J-Dog. But yeah, so that totally, I was just clicking on that on accident, so that totally threw me the fuck off. But yeah, basically, it's one of those cases where you write you're basically sitting there and fucking torturing yourself willingly. That's what I'm doing when I'm in the studio. I wrote that, I willingly recorded that, and took like 10 takes of each riff minimum, some of them easily 30 takes to get right, just for the pure dedication of making music that I love myself. Now that's just a thing with like making music I like to hear. That's why when I say mistakes that are in the final cut that are genuine, they are like mistakes that only really I know that they're there. Like in Corpsewrecked, it's very obvious. I think most people who listen to it would be able to pick it out as well. Some people are gonna straight up hate, or not gonna hate, but they're gonna be snobby, because if someone's really knowing about their guitar shit and they hear Corpsewrecked's guitar solo in the beginning, there's one note that doesn't quite ring out properly, they would have told me to retake that. But why didn't I? Because the rest of the guitar solo is fucking perfect. And it kind of sounds muted in a choking kind of way. It sounds like the note is choking. Now, I know choking notes is a thing, but this is in a different way. It sounds like the note is grasping for air. And in my opinion, that's a fucking perfect little thing there. Whatever the fuck that is. For the guitar solo. It just fits the whole like tonality and vibe of the. I mean, someone says it's their favorite guitar solo of mine, so I mean, it's got to be, something right. Something's got to be right about it. And I think it's one of my favorite. I think it's one of my best guitar solos. The only reason why it's not my number one is because number two would probably be the Iron Maiden Herman Lee guitar battle in Ame no Usume. I'm gonna play that song as well live, and the solo in Demon Seed is unbeatable. Like that's it doesn't have to be my best solo for it to be unbeatable as my best solo. Does that even make sense? To me, it does. When it leaves my mouth, I understand why some people are gonna be like, well, if it's not your best solo, how is it your best solo? Well, that's a good question actually, because what I'm saying here is it's my best solo because it has that certain like Demon Seed. You gotta listen to it to understand this, right? That solo has like my friend said it best. Lapalik, big shout out. It has this victorious feeling to it, right? With the guitar chords and everything, they're very uplifting at the end. Pretty much directly ripped off Destroying the Cosmos for my template, because it's a vector influenced song to begin with. But aside from that, you know, you get the guitar solo and it's like, it has all these like distinguishable parts that you can take, and you know that that's that part. You don't think that that part is part of this part. Like if you hear a 5-second clip of the middle of the solo and the beginning and the end and the in-betweens, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's different parts of the solo. You're not gonna be like, oh, this sounds the same. Now, obviously, it's pretty obvious that it doesn't all sound the same, but I mean in the sense that it's not overly because here's the thing, even if the part over here and part over here are played differently, if both are just completely mindless shredding, they're gonna sound like the same to most people. They're gonna sound like the same thing, because the people who aren't guitarists aren't gonna listen to it like, oh yeah, this one he played a lick slightly different here than he did here that time he mindlessly shredded. No, but they're just gonna hear the shredding and they're gonna hear it at the baseline fact that it is mindless shredding. So they're gonna be like, sounds the same, bro. Sounds like more wank. There's wank A and there's wank B, and they sound the same to those people, right? That's why you gotta have like the phrasing and the moving parts in the guitar solo that make it a good guitar solo. And that's really not that complicated. Like when I talk in phrasing, that's just like the same way you say something. That's how you're gonna look at it. You're gonna look at, like, the thing is, you can say something in a different tone and make it sound like a whole different thing, right? Sarcasm, for example. You can say like, oh yeah, bet you must have won the lottery today. You know, you can say something like that. Or, you know, people will be able to tell from your tone that you're not exactly serious. You can have an unserious tone, right? Or you can be like, man, I wish I won the lottery today. You know, that's a different tone. Or it's like, oh, you won the lottery today. See, now it sounds different. It sounds more genuine. It sounds more like curious, right? It sounds like more interested. It's not a sarcasm, you know? It's not the same exact words, but, you know, it's, you know, the tonality. If I said it, you know, you got to think about the guitar solo the same way. And, like, the way you say it, the way you say your notes on the guitar, that's the way you got to think it. Obviously, don't overthink it, because then you're going to sit there and be like, all right, here we're going to take this note, and then we're going to go over here to this note. No, that's not how I mean. I mean, every solo I make is fully improvised, start to finish. The only thing that I do is that I improvise one time to see what I feel like playing, what my brain tells me to play right away. And then, if the first time isn't already good, I'm going to do it again. And if there's discernible parts where I'm like instinctively on instinct, this is the best part. If I'm on instinct playing a lick, like wanting to gravitate to a certain lick in a melody kind of way, over and over, in multiple takes, I'm gonna start using that, because that means that my brain thinks that this lick and this form of melody and the way that sounds works for this song and this part of the song. Usually it's a certain part that I play it. Unless it's, because there's instances where I have guitar solos where sometimes that lick goes in a different place than it was originally intended. That's just, you know, how I view it. Like, for example, the Ash Again guitar solo, that one has like honestly, now with the second time I did it, because the first time I did like easily 30 takes and my string snapped. Now it's like 50 total takes, and they're all different. And in how I play the bends, how they sound when I play them, because not every time I play a solo, I don't get the same exact bend every time, not the same exact vibrato every time. That's why I love stuff like Dimebag, where they play their shit live slightly differently. Like they'll alter a scale or something to play slightly different, or play a lick a little longer, even when there's notes in between there. You just kind of say, fuck off to these notes, and I'm going to play these a little longer. Just changing it up live, right? That's why I don't mind exactly, like, the performance I have so far. That's me in the early stages of practicing, right? But I don't mind that. If that's how it ends up sounding in the final take, when I do it live, so be it. I mean, I'm doing it different from the original, especially the ending solo. That one I don't mind at all if it's different, because that one's not as signature or as memorable as the middle solo. Of course, that's why most of the middle solo is still intact. I keep most of the melodies, and you know, most of the like signature parts of the melodies, basically, is what I'm trying to say here. You know, and fuck is going on with my model over there? All right. I mean, I've got my point across, basically. There's not much more I can say. And yeah, look forward to that. I'm gonna stop playing now for a little while because my fingers need a break. That's the thing. You gotta know when to take a break as well. And that's just the hard side of playing, is taking a break. And the worst thing, the thing I know I fear and have to do at the same time, is that before I even do the live show, I'm going to need to take at least one day off before it, just for my fingers, to be able to keep up with everything. And I'm not meaning like keep up with the speed, I'm meaning like the skin of my fingers to keep up with everything. Otherwise, I would literally start bleeding on the stream in the middle of a song, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Because I'm not Zach Wild. I'm not able to play through the pain like that. So, in simple terms, I am just going to do exactly the practice I need. Get the songs done. I'm pretty sure I have my set list now. I mean, I pretty much said it right. I'm gonna for sure play these songs, and we can count them off as we go. When we're gonna play at least something from the fucking Dark Tribute album, so it's probably going to be The Rape Shed, and I'm thinking I Am the Liquor. So that's 2 songs, right? I'm gonna play Abeno Uzume Ebisu from Shinto Prophecy, 4 songs. I'm gonna play Will Your Kindness Be Free, Raped by Snakes, Revel in Blood, and Go Fuck Yourself. See, we're already up to 8. And probably the Forbidden Mind, The Return, for all I fucking care. That's 9. Imbecile Infection, Corpsewrecked. That's 11 songs. I might go with 12 if I feel like it, but I think 11's a pretty good number already. You know, playing a little bit from everything, a little more from, obviously, Revel in Blood. But that's a bit, you know, strategic, because those songs are a little, not always easier, but they're a little more known in my repertoire, in the sense of recent songs. And Demon Seed, of course, I would have liked to play that, but you know, I'm not in E. I'm kind of like in C standard, and that's in C sharp standard. It's a note sharp higher. But yeah, other than that, I'm gonna just go listen to Children of Bottom, Are You Dead Yet, and maybe the Stockholm Knockout Live before I go to bed. Because I haven't watched Breaking Bad today, but I'm probably going to tomorrow. Just save that. And yeah. That's just a little update on the show. I guess in a way, a little bit of a tutorial on the guitar song. Not really a tutorial, but it kind of shows you like the riffs and how things go and how hard it gets and all that mamma jam. You know, it's just, it's fucky. It's the problem. But yeah, that's been me. I have been Suicide Grind. And you've been watching me talk about Corpsewrecked and a little bit about the live show that's coming. I'm just going to title this Practicing for a Live Show. And yeah, practicing Corpsewrecked / live show. That's what I'm going to do. Right. Later, goddammit.